Victoria, tell us a little bit about Kensington and Chelsea Foundation, because you essentially work with lots of other charities across the area, supporting various on-the-ground support that's been taking place. But you've been going for a long time, and you've joined relatively recently. So tell us a little bit about where you come from and what, what the aim of the foundation is. How is it working with people in the area?
Okay, so the foundation's been going since 2008, and it was set up by a local resident, Jeremy Raffaeli, who'd become very aware during his time living in the borough that there was some significant social issues. So a lot of people associate Kensington and Chelsea with great affluence and wealth, and of course that is part of the story. But there's also real pockets of deprivation. We are the borough with the worst income inequality in the whole of London, for example. And there are other social issues around isolation and loneliness. We also have the largest number of single person households in the country. So his idea really was to bring together local people, businesses, residents, faith groups, to try and solve some of these problems. So we've been going since then, since 2008. And at the moment, our three kind of key priority areas are reducing isolation and loneliness, improving opportunities for children and young people, and improving skills and employment. So pre-COVID-19, those three areas were our kind of main priorities, and we were working really hard to raise as much money as we could to support local projects addressing those needs. We'd also played quite a significant part in the response to the Grenfell Tower tragedy in 2017. So we do have some experience in crisis response, but we weren't expecting to have to get involved in that so soon afterwards. So I joined in mid-November last year. And then about 4 weeks ago, when the COVID-19 pandemic really started to escalate, we decided that it was really important to try and respond to the increasingly apparent need in our community to provide food and essential supplies to vulnerable people, and to help local projects adapt some of their services, because many of them were bringing people together from social isolation for face-to-face activities, and of course that can't happen now. So we've been running an appeal for the last 4 weeks, and we've raised about 700,000, I think, so far. And we've been distributing that money across the borough to different projects and partners who are making a difference to our local residents.
And one of those businesses obviously making a massive difference is LMAX Group, and David Mercer's the CEO. David, LMAX Group, one of the most exciting fintech businesses over the last 10 years or so, nearly 10 years. Tell us a little bit about how you guys have evolved. And obviously you've made an extremely generous donation to the Kensington and Chelsea Foundation, and you're based locally and have been for a number of years. So what how did this get on your radar? How as a business have you grown, and where does giving back sit within your values as a business?
Thanks. Very highly is where it sits in terms of our priorities. I guess we've always tried to give back. So we're squarely a fintech company. I've got offices now in 11 countries, but for the last decade, we've been located right here in W11. So, we've tried other charities that help the youth. There's no such thing as bad charity, but just when this COVID-19 appeal happened, we looked at the borough around us and realized just what Victoria said. We're looking at people struggling with mental health, isolation, loneliness, looking at the youth and thinking, okay, how can we help this borough? Hopefully, you can mobilize the charity cavalry, and if we all start locally and that networks out, then there should be no hunger, there should be no poverty in this borough, there should be none in this country, and probably there should be none in the world. So we were fortunate to find Victoria and the Kensington and Chelsea Foundation, and we're very pleased to be able to support it. We wish we could do more, and we will do more. And also, more importantly, I'd encourage all businesses that are located in this borough to help as much as they can and help their neighbours.